Hello everyone, I am Phoenix Tremayne, and this is my review of the game. Normally I review the Braxton Family Values, Real Housewives of Atlanta, and Love and Hip Hop. But one of the shows that used to be my favorites is the game, so I'm trying to give it a chance again. I've seen all of the seasons, all of the episodes, and the big thing this season is, of course, Tia Mowry and Pooch Hole are no longer on the show. Pooch has stayed for the premiere so that they can exit his character out, and technically Melanie's too. But I'll get into it. Just thinking about this episode is starting to give me a headache. But it started off wrong with this walk that a character was doing, and we're like, who's this character who can't walk? Looks like she's like dragging her feet in heels, like she's never walked in heels before a day in her life. And it turned out to be Sierra. Wow. Sierra can dance, but she can't walk. Tia Mowry is still in the opening credits. That surprised me. The game technically doesn't have opening credits. They have that little sequence where a woman walks down and then sort of like stakes the ball on the guys, whatever. But it's all in shadow. But you can tell that it's Tia. So I was actually kind of surprised to see that. I thought they may have taken the opportunity to create a new game opening. But it's the same. Normally the way I do my reviews is I break it down scene by scene. But with this show, I don't think that's necessary to tell you what happened in each scene as the show progressed, especially since it's an hour, because it's 2 episodes together. And I'm just going to go character by character and just say their story arc. The big thing, of course, is getting rid of the Derwin Davis and Melanie characters. Because from the episode 1, they were the stars of the show. They were the ones that, brought you into this world of football, wives and players. And now they're gone. If you don't know, the reason why they're gone is because, from what I understand from the reports that I read, when it first all went down, it's all about money. When the show was saved by BET and given a chance to be like their first scripted show, all of the actors took a pay cut. And if the show was successful, they were supposed to get a pay raise. Well, instead of getting a pay raise, they were asked to take another cut. Pooch and Tia banded together to sort of like do what they did on Friends, where, if one goes, both goes, to try and get the money. They did it wrong, because it's supposed to be the whole cast. So you may be able to lose 1 or 2 people, even the stars of a show. I mean, look what they did on Good Times. But, you can't lose the entire cast and start over without really pissing the audience off. You would have to really just like cancel the show and do something else. So, because the entire cast didn't band together and say we're all walking if we don't get our raises, they just dropped the 2 who wouldn't budge. And so now we've got the 2 characters they spent developing for the last 5 seasons are now gone. And the way they did it was actually easy based on the way the show is made. Derwin Davis was traded, which it was like the simplest answer. He didn't get killed or anything like that. Melanie's character was always wanted to be the doctor, and they just said she was working in Baltimore. So she was at Johns Hopkins or whatever. So they never even showed Tia. She was on the phone. If you watch Tia's show with her and her sister or whatever, they showed her, like with her manager, like, okay, there's no deal. I guess this is time for separation, whatever. So she wasn't going to get humiliated coming back. So I guess Pooch Hall got some extra cash because they wrecked him. I mean, that was some bullshit. If I was an actor, I don't care how much money they would have offered me. It would have to be a multi-million-dollar deal for me to humiliate myself like that. having his character upset over being traded, which is understandable. But then to have his character begging to stay, and he don't want to leave, and he crying, and he acting a fool. You know, I was like, it was hard to watch because if you know the behind the scenes stuff, you understand that I kind of see, because if you don't know me from my other shit, I'm a writer, producer myself, and of course I'll throw one of my clips of one of my projects I'm doing now at the end of this. But, you know, it was just like, oh God, I mean, just like shoot him already. It's. I know they're trying to say, okay, this is for the fans. The fans are upset that he's leaving, Melly's leaving. So show that it's just as painful for them, but then focus on transition. So you've got him saying he wants to stay, and then you've got the other characters going, well, people come and go. You know, so it's like a slap in the face, and it's like somebody took some shit, and they like shit on a plate, gave it to him, and said, you know, eat it. And that's your script. You know, you got to eat the shitty dialogue and then spit it out. So it wasn't good. I swear, I felt sorry for him. But I can't feel sorry for him too much because he's got a brand new show on ABC. He's playing on that new show how to live with your parents for the rest of your life. I think he's going to be Sarah Chalk's boyfriend, and I've only seen him in the commercial. But it's a double-edged sword. The reviewers for the show have already said that it's crap and it'll probably get canceled. That's why it's taking so long for ABC to put it out mid-season. So hopefully it's good and he still has a job. And ABC, you know, he'll have lots more viewers looking at him, which could advance his career even more. So good luck for him. Of course, T and Tamara, they're doing their thing, making their money. You know, they do what they got to do. They land on their feet. You know, so it's not a big thing. But the way I could understand why Tia would not come back to do some bullshit like Pooch had to do. And this brings us to, okay, if you take out 2, you have to add 2. So I'll talk about the rest of the characters, how their new story arcs are, or old story arcs are, you know, after this. But I think the only thing new is these new characters. So the first character you meet is Laura London's character, Kiera Whitaker, a former child star who starred in a fictional Cosby-esque sitcom. Kiera is one of the new characters that will be introduced in the upcoming. I'm reading from their shit. And Kiera is Tia. That was another way for the writers to just give her the finger, like, yeah, bitch, you can be replaced. And Tia, the former child star, you know, came to the game to sort of like change her life and play something other than what she had done. So there you have almost like a mirror. And I think a lot of people will go over their head. But this is like a mirror when she's sitting in front of John Singleton and she wants to be more than just a child star. That is them talking directly to Tia. Look, you were a child star. You wanted to be the sexy vixen and be a little racy in this show, The Game, because The Game was really racy. That's why I liked it. It wasn't your normal average sitcom. They got away with a lot of shit that probably belonged on HBO when they could have done it all the way and done it right. But they have her character. She's sort of like a has-been. You know, she's not getting her break. And then they're at the announcements, whatever, forgot what you call it. The announcements for like the draft pick. And she runs into him because, of course, that's going to be her love interest. And, you know, they sort of like meet. There's chemistry. There's some flirtation. And then, you know, Sierra's her friend in this episode. And they all sort of like, you know, just are together. And next thing you know, him and Pooch Hall's character, Derwin Davis, get into and I've never heard them call him Derwin Ding Dong Davis so much ever in an episode. That was like, what, season 1, season 2? This was just crazy, you know, the way they were just pounding the dirt in. I mean, it was just ridiculous. But, you know, her character really starts to fall for him fast, although she's, sort of like standoffish a little bit after the fight that he and Derwin gets in, because he's an arrogant ass. So he gets in Derwin's face. They say some shit back and forth. The next thing you know, they fighting. She goes help him wash the blood off, and then Tasha Mack, she goes up, to try to like put the fires out and make sure the Derwin, name doesn't get like dragged in the mud anymore. There's gonna be, and that she's doing damage control, even though she doesn't have to, because she's not managing either one of them. And so they just went up there so she could see his dick. She walks into the room because he tells Kiera to get rid of Tasha, and he's sitting up in the room expecting Kiera to be like this groupie bitch ready to fuck. And Tasha, being Tasha, just bursts in the room, and he's like, covers his dick real fast, like, oh, she's like, oh, you're not little after all, or whatever she said. Just having a little Tasha moment. That moment will only pay off if the two of them fuck by the end of the season, which is highly unlikely. And then, of course, Kiera character was the good girl, just like Tia was. It's like, oh, no, I don't fuck on the first date. No, I can't do that. I ain't one of these hoes. You knew she was going to fuck that motherfucker, till he just jumped the gun. All he needed to do was just kiss her some more, rub on them titties, offer to eat that pussy, whip the dick out if it was big enough. She was like, eh. She would have done something, but, she's like, you don't want to be a groovy bitch. So, he just didn't have game, literally. And so he couldn't get the pussy. But technically, he should have been able to, because as soon as she saw his body, his abs, his chest, homegirl's tongue was like on the floor, like she was ready to lick it up. So she was ready to fuck, and I'm talking about in real life. That was some real life oogling, okay, ogling, whatever you call it, shit. So, and let me put this out there. I like the two characters. I like Melanie and I like Derwin. I'm more than willing to give these characters a chance. I just don't feel that it was handled appropriately. And I've had to do the same thing. Actors get on my last fucking nerves, and I'm in the middle of production. We've already filmed. Luckily I've done a lot of supernatural shit, so I've actually said, bitch, now you're a shape changer. And I've changed actresses in the middle of the fucking movie because the bitch got on my nerves. And I said, okay, now you're a shape changer. I told one of my actresses, oh, you're not really dead. Just pretend. This is just a regular fight scene. You'll get up. I lied. I killed the bitch off. And then I had the character playing her sister take over the role. So I killed the main character halfway through my movie, which hopefully one day you will see. But that's because that bitch was crazy. It wasn't money. That bitch was crazy. So, and she was fucking everything. But anyway, I didn't even go there. I ain't gonna burn her name like that because I found out she's a bigger hoe than I thought she was, because I've met some actors in my cast that like fucked the shit out of her gangbang style. But that's neither here or there. You're here to listen about the game. But anyway, so we've got this guy, Jay Ellis, playing Bryce Blueprint Westbrook, who's a daddy's boy, who he calls his father Corporal or whatever he called him, so his father's like, he's like, when are you going to dress me as a man, and his father's like, well, when you become one, so his father's his manager, coach, whatever you want to call him, and he's like a hard ass who's he's scared of, little bitch. But that's the only thing about the character I don't like. Obviously they're creating an arc where he has to overcome his father's controlling ways and become a man on his own and stand up to him. Yeah, I can see that shit a million miles away. But, like I said, the characters aren't bad, but the way it ended, spoiler alert, I'm about to tell you how the shit ended, because Laura London's character, Kiera, didn't want to give up the pussy, she left, thinking he was going to go to bed. And he begging for the pussy. He's like, come on, let's just cuddle. Something. So the next morning, she come in there with breakfast and shit. Like, okay, I didn't give him the pussy, but I know he waiting for it. And then that's when Sierra walk out the room like, hey girl, I hit that. Now here's the thing, okay? Sierra, I don't know what this bitch is thinking. I mean, I can't say I'm a fan. She has songs I like. She has songs I don't like. For instance, she came out with that song Sorry. Didn't like it. She came out with Body Party. I liked it. Then I heard the snippet for this new Rick Ross shit she's doing. And I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? So, whatever. But her image, she's playing herself. I've never seen this before. She's playing herself. Okay, she's playing. They call her Sierra. She's playing Sierra in the damn show, and a guy she's never met before, she fucks that night, who she knows her friend wanted because they were doing the whole Twitter thing and everything. So she knows that her friend wanted him, but she had him anyway. So if you're playing yourself on a TV show, why the hell would you allow these writers to write you to be the hoe at the end? Now, in real life, you might have fucked him. You might say, oh shit, he's a football player, he's a #1 draft pick. Let me go jump on that real quick. But you don't put it on TV. You say, look, I'll do it, but I'm going to be, call me Bianca. That's like a finger to Beyonce. Oh, she's beefing with Rihanna. So, call me Renee. Some shit like that. And have her dressed like Rihanna. And they can, like, she's playing a Rihanna-like character who, like, ready to just fuck him. That would have been smarter than to say, yes, I'm playing myself and I'm a hoe because I give it up on the first night just because the guy is like the #1 draft pick. And I know I'm not going to be his #1 girl, but oh well. Anyway, so Sierra played herself and she played herself as a hoe. And then we get the series regular arcs, okay? We've got Wendy Raquel Robinson, who plays Latasha Mack. She developed this relationship with Pooch Hall, played by Rockman Dunbar, and they're Skyping each other and throughout the episode or whatever, taking pictures, sending it to him, whatever. And then at the end, she fucks Rip Fox, who she had a crush on way back when she was dating. So, okay, so she's going backwards, not forwards in her storyline. Then Jose Sanchez or Chanchez, whatever his name is, Malik Wright, plays Malik Wright. One of my favorite characters, really good actor. And he's basically fell off the wagon again, which is what he did all last season. So why are we seeing this shit again? We already saw that last year. Then you got Kobe Bell, Jason Pitts. Is he not cheap anymore? Because he's like doing it up for his wife, played by Brandy, Chardonnay, played by Brandy. And, he's also using their honeymoon as also a vacation / work. So he's still Jason, but he's spending money on her. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to watch it, but I have a feeling midway through the season, or even after a couple episodes, I may lose interest. If they keep going backwards, I need them to go forward and give me some new shit. So that's my review of the game. Check out my review of Braxton Family Values, Real Housewives of Atlanta, and Love and Hip Hop. And I'll try to, once again, do episode 2 of the game. I'm not even wasting my time doing a review of that Let's Stay Together shit. Yes, I watched it. And once again, I did not like it. So every year, I'll watch a couple episodes, and every year I go, what the fuck is this shit? This ain't canceled yet? When are they going to replace this shit? Now, either replace the shit or make it better. I don't care which one you do, but you need to do something. So, watch my reviews. I'm going to put a clip at the end of my teaser trailer for The Darkness and the Dawn. Yes, it is spelled right. It's not a typo. The main character is played by Dawn Maria Gomez, who spells her name Dhjn. So the title is actually a play on her name, The Darkness and the Dawn, which is how her name's pronounced. So hope you enjoyed, and I'll even go ahead and throw some shit from my fitness show in there too. So, I do fitness and all that kind of stuff. But if you stick with me, subscribe to me, friend me on Facebook or whatever, you will learn about all the things that I do. So I will see you again soon. Peace. Hello everyone, I am Phoenix Tremayne, and I'm here with one of the Biggest Losers fan favorites, Mr. Michael Dorsey.
What's happening, everybody? Even though the lights have gone out on my season of The Biggest Loser, I want you to know that the journey still continues for me, and I am really looking forward to actually paying it forward and sharing with others many of the things that I've picked up along the way so that we can all work towards having a healthy lifestyle. And so I want all my fans to see what's coming up next.
Okay, so we need you to join us on the new web series where we'll talk about diet, exercise, nutrition, and just how to live a healthy lifestyle for the rest of your life and get away from all of these fads that keep you fat in the end. So, Michael, you ready?
I'm ready to do it, man.
Cool.
It works.